Hello everybody and welcome back to Sunshine Islands. Today is the 21st day of winter, which brings us to my wedding anniversary with Witch Princess. So this is the first year that we have been married, and it falls between my birthday and her birthday, which I think is pretty cool. Now, the birthdays in this game are really nothing too special. You don't really get any gifts. You get yourself a nice dinner from your spouse, and we did see that when we celebrated my birthday. But your wedding anniversary is different because your spouse will give you a wonderful. So obviously we want to get in on that, and so we will be returning to the house later on to see what Witch Princess has for us. And I got Ganon to put in the restroom for me. This is just an optional thing that you can do to your house. It doesn't really serve a lot of purpose. It doesn't unlock anything. It's not needed. But today is the very last day that the sprites are working, and it is a Sunday, so Ganon will not be available to work. So yesterday I decided, hey, what the heck, let's add the restroom into the house, because I had the funds and the lumber to do so. And I'm gonna show that off, but I'm gonna wait until I've used up a little bit of my stamina first. And it's been about 2 weeks since I did the last recording, so I don't remember if I mentioned this or not. I went ahead and planted some yams, and as you can see, they are growing and coming in quite nicely. And this will not only be a good way for me to easily increase my profits by shipping the yams, but I also remembered that we have to use our seed maker 100 times in order to get a sunstone for that. And it's a good thing I remembered that, because using the yams that I get from the greenhouse will be perfect, because I definitely won't need all the money I'll be getting from those yams, on top of all of the money that I'll be getting from my regular crops. Now, I can honestly say that I don't have anything that is too important or exciting to talk about in today's video. So we're just gonna kind of do some running around. If we talk to Taro, he'll tell us that there is a blizzard tomorrow. So we need to make sure that the trees are protected. I'm very, very close to having golden lumber throughout the entire orchard, but I'm not quite there yet. So I'll probably have to go and put some material stone around my remaining trees. And if I talk to Chen, and we scroll down the list, you can see that there is another orange wonderful for sale. So last night I did the saving and the reloading trick, and it took me forever. I lost track of how many different saving and reloading I needed to do. It was going on for so long that I was starting to lose track. So this is my third orange wonderful of this season, and because it's the 21st today, I can probably end up getting one, maybe two more if I feel like doing the trick, because you need to wait at least 3 days before Chen will have another one for sale in his store. And I'm not sure if I will go through the trouble. I've managed to get 3 oranges and 1 green in this season by doing the trick, which is fantastic. Sometimes it doesn't take me very long at all, and then sometimes it takes me a very, very long time. So I guess it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, if I'm really determined enough to go through with that. I guess I'll go to Animal Island and check that out. And at some point today, I probably will just reload my save and just kind of redo this day properly outside of a recording. I will probably take care of some of this stuff that's on my field because we are going to be getting a blizzard tomorrow, which means that we're going to be getting more stuff swept onto the farm. I'm going to have to keep a lookout for large boulders, stones, branches, and the like. So obviously I do my regular thing in winter where I kind of just collect everything on the farm that I find. And I'm purposely wasting stamina here so that we can go into the house and use the restroom. And that'll give me some material stone to put around my trees as well. But my field is pretty clean. I've been doing pretty well on the upkeep of all the stuff that you can find in the wintertime, all the stones and the branches. I've been doing pretty well in terms of cutting down or breaking all of that stuff. Because I was saving up for that greenhouse, I kind of had to take everything that I could get. So we'll let Witch Princess give us her lunch. It looks like tofu. Some sort of tofu. Let's see. Yep, regular old tofu. Thank you. And then we can go into the washroom. So it passes time by 10 minutes. Normally, time does not pass in your house. And you can use it as many times as you'd like, and as you can see, it is increasing my stamina by a little bit. Not by much, mind you, and it doesn't increase my fullness at all. But by spending 10 minutes in here, I can get a bit of an increase to my stamina, which honestly isn't too bad. This is not a bad idea if you want to save money by buying food, or you're just at home doing your chores and you want to increase a little bit of your stamina and you don't want to travel far. I mean, there are definitely some uses here. The downside, of course, is that it doesn't increase your fullness. This does cost money to build, and by the time you're kind of ready to build the restroom, or by the time that you have the resources, I would think most people would know some pretty basic, cheap, easy dishes that they could cook, or they're lazy like me and they spend money at the cafe or the diner. So for me, this isn't particularly useful. I'd rather just cook, but again, just a nice, cheap upgrade that I thought was a good idea to put into the house while we still had access to those harvest sprites, because they are going to be gone for a whole month. We now have to wait until the end of spring before we can do anything with them, which is a bummer. And I think I didn't give the animals anything. I do believe I'm trying to befriend the mice, and obviously they have no real friendship with me yet, so they're not able to bring me anything. So I'm just kind of alternating between the ducks and the monkeys, and then putting in some random foods to try and get some help from the other animals. Now, once I have the ability to have a full orchard of golden lumber fences, I really won't need the monkeys for anything. And then once that happens, I can focus on some other animals, because there are some other animals that have some useful skills that I just haven't implemented. And the other thing that I forgot to buy from Chen was some $10,000 tickets. While I was playing around off screen and just kind of figuring out what kind of stuff that I could cover in this video, I managed to cook myself some golden lumber. So I'm gonna see if I can do this on screen. Probably not, now that everybody's watching me and I'm trying to show it off in a video. It probably won't work, but we learned the recipe quite some time ago. All I had to do was give a piece of gold to the cafe owner, and she gave us the recipe for golden lumber, but it is such a highly skilled recipe that it takes a long time for you to get to the point of being able to make it. But I spend quite a bit of time cooking, obviously. Even though I don't have a full kitchen full of stuff, I do have a very high cooking level from all the cooking that I've done. So, believe it or not, I was able to finally make this. So let's give it a shot and see if it'll work. Now, obviously, this isn't ideal. I would much rather have the monkeys do this for me. There we go. Yay, I did it. We can make it. Because it's very expensive. It costs me $10,000 to make one piece of golden lumber. Now, this is still much cheaper than buying it from Ganon, who I do believe charges $100,000 for one piece of lumber. But from the monkeys, it's pretty much free. And as you can see there, I failed to make it that time because even though I do have some luck in making it, it's still a very, very complex, high-level dish, so there's always the possibility of failing. So, I mean, if I get super impatient trying to wait for the monkeys to bring me lumber, or I just get so filthy stinking rich that I don't have a lot of stuff to spend money on, then that's definitely an option. In hindsight, when you look at the big picture about how much money I'm bringing in and how easy it has been for me to make money, spending that amount of money to get some golden lumber really isn't that bad. As you can see, the sprites are still here, but this is their last day. Ganon is in his house, chillin', having his one day off. And that was pretty much all I had for this video. Like I said, I didn't have anything that was super mind-blowing to talk about, because all of the little tiny updates that I've had here and there, I have been able to mention in previous videos. And obviously, because I'm going to reload my save and play properly, I'm going to make sure that all the animals are fed and that all of the trees are protected from the upcoming blizzard, and that I will probably make a save and just reload if I don't get the right result from the blizzard, because sometimes you can reload and get a better result with less damage, which would be ideal. Oh, and it looks like Witch Princess made the exact same meal that she made for our birthday. Maybe she just pulled out like the leftover cake from our birthday and is trying to repackage it as new cake. So obviously here you have to guess correctly about what day it is. It's our anniversary today. Of course you wouldn't forget such an important day. Nope, you'd probably kill me. Literally. And I have a present for you. How great is that? Let's always be together. I want a divorce. She gave me a yellow wonderful. I want a divorce. Oh, why? I waited all freaking year for our anniversary and you give me a yellow. Do you even love me? And then she causes a blizzard the day after. I mean, I guess she could have been really mean and caused a blizzard the day of our anniversary. Which can happen, by the way. And this is, I think, the third blizzard of this season. So we've had a few blizzards up to this point. But nothing too devastating. Just a few lost days of productivity. And even so, I mean, I've had a pretty productive winter. So you can see here, obviously, the storm brought in some more boulders and some more rocks. Something like this is a very, very minimal fix to our fence. Yeah, this is all very, very minimal damage. This is all super easy to fix, which is fantastic. I forgot to put fences around my trees. I wonder if they got destroyed. Obviously, if they did, I would just reload, which I'm gonna do anyways. But they didn't. They actually survived the blizzard, which is neat. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, but it's never good to take that chance. Just in case. And then in the greenhouse you can see that the yams are in their third stage already. So all I have to do is give these guys 1 point of water each and wait a few more days. And I should have some yams coming on in, which is awesome. And then from this point, I am probably just going to play right up until the new year, and then we'll probably do some sort of update video of anything that happens in the next week, and talking about how I did at the end of the year, and just the usual regular end of the month wrap up stuff. And then that will conclude our third year. We'll be going into year 4, which is pretty crazy to think about. There's a few things going on in between, like the Starry Night Festival and Witch Princess's birthday, but we already covered that. We actually talked about that last year, of course, because we were already married by then and we were able to see those events. So I'm not going to be covering those because there's nothing special about them. You don't do anything for your spouse's birthday, so Witch Princess's birthday is just like any other day, and the Starry Night Festival is very similar when you're married versus when you're not married. So I'm just gonna take the next week to relax, hang out, figure out what I'm gonna do for the remainder of the season, and then just hopefully smoothly segue into spring is my hope. So that's it for me. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.